Hey everybody, this is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is called How to Find More Empowerment and Clarity in Your Life. And we are doing it through Goddess Isis. I'm using my Isis Oracle here. I love this pocket edition of it, Pocket Edition Isis Oracle by Alana Fairchild. No way affiliated with it, I just like it. And I thought it was a really cool opportunity to connect with Goddess Isis and ask her, how can we gain more empowerment and clarity in our lives? There won't be an extended reading today, but you will find details below for how to request a private reading with me, how to follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, and you'll also find below a lot of the decks that I read with as well, okay? So thank you everyone for being here today. Let's go ahead and dial into the reading. I'm just gonna get comfortable and let's go ahead and do it. So we have pile number 1, which is the yellow tea light. We have pile number 2, which is the white tea light. We have pile number 3, which is the blue tea light, okay? So that's yellow, white, and blue. And we're gonna be taking a look at oracle cards for each pile 2, which I've pre-shuffled. I have no idea what's in the piles. I just shuffled them before I got on camera here. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna put the other sides, the other piles aside. And if you want to, you can click directly below on the description box to go straight to your pile. You're also free to watch more than one pile if you're feeling led to do that, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it, you guys. And I have my own little altar kind of set up here. I have Isis, this Isis bracelet out here with her symbol. I have her cards. I have I have Archangel Michael here, which is always, of course, clarity and empowerment is big time Archangel Michael energy. So let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. All right, so pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You have the yellow tea light, and our question for your reading is how to gain more empowerment and clarity in your life, okay? So we're gonna look at where you may be feeling disempowered, where you may be feeling like you're not sure what to do, and how to gain more clarity in those areas, okay? So thank you so much for joining your reading. You guys are very optimistic, outgoing, fun individuals choosing the yellow tea light. And it's actually perfect for an empowerment question because the yellow tea light represents the solar plexus, or the color yellow is associated with the solar plexus, which has to do a lot with our empowerment and our ability to say yes to the things that we want to say yes to and no to the things that we don't, and our ability to kind of set out on our own path and have our own mission be really well defined, all right? So let's go ahead and look at how can my pile number 1s gain more empowerment and clarity in their lives. Let's go ahead and look at it. So everyone got an Isis card here because I said earlier this Goddess Isis deck here is what I'm using, and we're channeling in the energy of the goddess in order to do the reading. Let's check it. Ooh, you guys have initiation. You are being initiated into the divine mysteries of light, love, and power. There are moments of profound challenge. The key is to find the light within and the opportunities for growth that can transform any challenge into an experience of healing. With compassion and cleverness, you will not burn during your challenges. You shall thrive, okay? Yeah, so you, pile number 1, are going through an initiation and you're learning some important lessons about love and power is what I feel. And you have been going through a very profound stage of your life. And I think it has challenged your optimism. I think it has challenged your views and your ideas about life. I mean, you continue to burn bright, pile number 1, but I feel like, this initiation, people always think initiations are going to be, easier than they are, right? I mean, otherwise we wouldn't go through them, right? No one would go through the pain of childbirth if they knew what it was really going to be like, right? So I think that's kind of where it might have taken you by surprise. Pile number 1 is what I'm feeling, some of the things you've been going through lately. We have surrender, and look at that back bend. Look at how gorgeous that is. I mean, we have to be flexible when we surrender, right? It's almost like at this point, anything could happen, right? We have number 48 here, which reduces to a 12. So Some of you may be Pisces, or the number 12 may be important to you, like a birth date, number 12 here, or born during Pisces time. But this surrender energy is like, or you may have to feel like, I'm not a Pisces, but I feel like I have to become one, right? For those of you that are familiar with astrology, like this initiation has to do with me surrendering and letting go. So maybe you're a fixed sign, or you're some kind of I feel like some people in this pile may be into astrology or know a little bit about astrology. And I feel like you guys are almost having to become like Pisces. And maybe you have friends that are Pisces, and you can get some lessons from them, okay? But there is this sense of like, I need to be flexible. I need to go with the flow. I need to just let the universe take me where it needs to. I need to let go in complete trust. 3:11 on my clock right now too. But I just have to let go and trust that things are going to work out, and that Spirit's got me. And I feel like, that may have been hard for some of you, particularly if you're a planner, you like to know how things are going to go and what's going to happen. Yeah, that can be a very tough initiation. Ooh, look at this Lovers energy. Okay, we could have some Geminis in this pile too, some Gemini Pisces energy. Some of you are getting initiation, I feel like, around equality in relationships with love and power, okay? And you may have had profound moments of challenge in your love relationships recently, in friendships, in romantic relationships. You may have experienced some really profound losses and challenges, is what I feel, pile number 1. And it's been a struggle to maintain your usual optimism and faith in the world, right? And some of you could be feeling a little bit world weary as a result of some of these issues, right? But you guys, it says you will not burn during your challenges. You will move forward with compassion and cleverness. So there is a need to be very clever right now with this Lover's energy, to look at both sides of the story and to try to come to some type of equilibrium, or try to come to some type of understanding, all right? And to know that, like, it's not worth it to lose the battle to win the war, or win the war to lose the battle. I forget the saying, like I'm channeling right now, so sometimes it's hard for me to remember, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna like, just, every once in a while you may need to lose. You may need to be on the losing end of the spectrum. But Philip, oh my God, some of you may be dealing with a Philip. I don't know why. I don't know why that name just came out of my mouth, but some of you may be dealing with a P name or a Philip. Jesus Christ. But some of you may have lost somebody with that name in your life, and someone here may be realizing that they're on the losing end of things, or it felt that way at the time, and it was really challenging to let go of that. So yeah, that's, and I do feel like you've learned some very interesting lessons around love in the last year, pile number 1. I feel like you really have, okay? The moon, yeah, the Lovers in the moon. It's like not everything, and I can see where your confusion is. I think your confusion has been around love and power and relationships, honestly, here, pile number 1. And it's been this huge energy of having to surrender on your own. Like, it's easier when you have someone next to you to kind of validate that you made the right decision. Some of you may feel like you're off in space on your own, that like you used to have love and support in your life, and now you're just kind of off drifting at sea here, is kind of what I feel. Like, some of you may feel that you're drifting at sea. And at one point you thought that this was going to be a road to somewhere, that this connection was going to be really something magnificent. And I think, it really stranded you at sea, is what I feel. Okay. And, and it's really teaching you about surrendering into the path that Spirit has set for you, because I feel like some of you have very strong wills in this pile. Like Tauruses, Scorpios, Leos, like Aquariuses. I'm thinking about the fixed signs, Capricorns even. I'm thinking like, you have strong willpower. And so when you set your intention, I don't feel like you like giving up, pile number 1. And I don't feel like you like succumbing to, feeling like you're lost. Okay. And I think that this year in particular may have really challenged you and made you feel alone at times. Like, am I the only one who can see this? Am I the only one that knows what's going on here? And some of you may be trying to bring others into your viewpoint or awareness. And that is a way that is something that will diminish your clarity and your empowerment, right? Like, you don't have to be the one that's right. You don't have to prove it to anyone. You know what happened. You don't need to get anyone on your side. There's nothing to do here. Spirit is like, just surrender to the flow of what's happening. Yeah, King of Wands. So again, I mean, it could be Leo energy here too. I was getting that kind of fixed fire energy here. But I feel like, honestly, what I feel like, pile number one, is that somebody could have been dominating your energy. Like, you were in a partnership that you thought was equal, that you thought was shared, that you thought was, you guys were going down a certain path. And this person was actually dominating over your energy and was really, putting you out to sea is what I see, like making you feel lost and disconnected and discombobulated, while this person kind of hogged the power, okay? While they kind of like I think the person that you were dealing with, and it might be more than one person, it could be friendships too, where I feel like people were kind of trying to lord their power over you. Power number one. Oh my God, Spirit is not letting me get away with anything in this pile. They're like, you better say this shit right. So yeah, and I feel very like intense in your pile. I will say, I feel very like impassioned and intense. And so I think you may have been feeling like that too. And then people are not responding to you that way. And it just sets you adrift at sea. All right. And you're really being asked to surrender to the outcome right now, pile number one. Like, Spirit is saying, surrender the outcome, let go of the outcome, because you don't actually know. You're going through a portal right now, pile number one, so you don't actually know what's even meant for you right now. And that may be causing you a lot of disempowerment too. Like, I don't even know what's meant for me right now. I thought something was meant for me. It wasn't meant for me. All right. And I learned the hard way, all right, with the Moon card and the Surrender card here. I had to learn the hard way. You may be feeling that way, and Spirit is saying, just pause and chill for a minute here, because at this point, you may not even know what is meant for you or what's coming for you, but Spirit has a plan, all right, is what I feel here. Yeah, pile number one. Some of you are needing to release an ex. This may be an ex that you parted ways with this year, all right, or close, like in 2019. I would actually say this could be an ex from 2018 to present, okay? From 2018 to the end of 2020. Like, think about the people that, and it might be more than one ex, honestly. It may be a pattern here for you, pile number one. But I'm definitely feeling like there's been a lot of tears shed here, pile number one, and it's been intense, okay? The road has been long, it's been intense. And, your soul's gotten real soggy in the process is what I feel like. And, and it is time. Spirit is saying the time has come to clear your energy. And some of you may be keeping like a very prominent picture of this person around an area where you sleep. And I think Spirit wants you to get rid of that now, if that's the case, okay? Reconciliation, someone from your past is returning into your life. Okay, so some of you here could have this ex is wanting to return to you. I don't like to play into those feelings, honestly, pile number one, because I think it can get very disempowering and disillusioned if you feel like you may have come to this reading feeling like there is a chance at reconciliation. I believe there is, You may believe in your heart of hearts that there is a chance for reconciliation here, but, and it could be that this person would be open to reconciling with you, but I don't feel that this is really good for you. Okay, pile number one, like hanging on to that or not surrendering or hanging on to it is just causing more disempowerment or causing more illusion in your life is what I feel, okay? Cognizance, it just comes to you naturally, know it all, okay? So some of you I feel are very intuitive here too, like you know things and you have no reason for knowing why you know them, but you do. There is a cleverness about you, pile number one, and I don't want you to forget that, because with the moon here, you may feel like sometimes you're adrift at sea. You don't know what's happening. You're like, I have no clue, you know, like what is going on? What's the truth? What's false, right? And, you know, and Spirit is saying here, King of Wands, step into your authority, right? Don't let anybody dominate your energy, okay? You're not here to be anybody's blood doll or anybody's plaything. Fuck that. Like, and you don't need to give this person a second chance. I feel like if you did, it would be 100 times worse, okay? Like I feel like some of you may have had a dream about this person releasing your ex recently, okay? And if you have, it's really a sign here from Spirit, like this reading is for you, all right? And it says it just comes to you naturally, know it all. So you do know it. I think this is confirmation from Spirit just saying, you know what you know. You already know it. You don't need to go back, okay? You're going through a portal. You're going through an initiation. It's no time to go back, okay? Aura, cleanse your aura. And that came out under the moon, okay? So if you have been in confusion, if you have been wondering, if you've been dreaming about this person, if you can't get them out of your auric field, even if you've done cut and clear work, you've done all kinds of things, there's still could be lingering sadness here, I feel, pile number one, about this connection. There could still be something you're holding on to, which might be why some of these things that you've tried to do haven't worked, okay? So I think that you need to dig a little bit deeper is what I'm getting, all right? And not in obsession towards this person or persons, but in towards yourself as a self, you know, inquiry there. We have Coyote Spirit, trust in divine detours. Oh my God, if that isn't for you, I don't know what is, pile number one. I don't know what is, right? And Spirit is saying, like, I feel like this could be a guide for you, a male fire sign that may have passed away in your family lineage. This could be a father, a grandfather, but somebody that had big bombastic energy, that had a big voice, or somebody that's still closely tied to you on the earth plane and is watching you. And this person has, I feel that this spirit that's with you, and if it's not a passed over loved one, like a father figure or a grandfather, it's a guide, okay? And this guide or spirit is not letting anybody infiltrate your life that's false. I mean, somebody may come in because you have free will, but they are revealing things as quickly as they can to you, is what they want me to assure you, pile number one. They are revealing and they are letting you know as quickly as they can, all right? So I want you to know, if you felt, some of you may feel that your spirit hasn't had your back lately because of these things that have been happening. And I just have to say, like, that's not even true at all. Coyote Spirit, trust in divine detours, okay? So things have happened that have been confusing, I feel, for you in the last year, pile number one. And, you know, and it's been with multiple people. And I feel like, you know, I also feel like Spirit is telling you guys to think back to the time when you were 16 years old. There is something about that time period. There's something about the people you were around, the friends that you had, what you were doing at that time that is relating to now. I don't care if you're 60 years old now, it doesn't matter. Like, there's something right now that's happening and I feel like this spirit guide is closely tied to that for some of you, is what I'm getting. Okay, pile number one, that's very specific there, but we have soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Yeah, look at this, okay? So some of you may have a sister that you're very close with too that really needs you right now, is what I feel. You know, and it may be that you guys are can't meet like normally because of all the things going on in the world right now, but I feel like this person will always, it may be like a friend who's like a sister to you, but I feel like this person always knows your energy. They always hold you in their heart. I kind of feel like I'm gonna cry, honestly. I feel like there is somebody in your life, pile number one, that you desperately need to connect with, because I feel like this person loves you and has your best interest at heart. And I feel like you guys have been like two fish swimming in the different directions here for a while, but there's a need to kind of come home to one another, okay, is what I'm getting. And some of you could have a sister that's in spirit too, that watches over you, all right? And that's beautiful. Like, it just kind of makes me cry. I feel like, you know, you need to drop into these true connections so that you can clear this confusion, all right? We have, I can never say his name, Dijawal Cole, Dharma Unfolding. Remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness. Yeah. Spirit is really tapping you guys, pile number 1, and saying, this initiation and surrender is part of your plan. You helped design it. Don't get mad at us, okay? Is what I feel they're saying. And, you know, this divine detour was really, really needed. It was totally needed here. Some of you may be seeing feathers when you go and walk. I do feel that's a sign from your angels, from your guides. If you do have loved ones in spirit, it's a definite sign from them. And I feel like this Dharma unfolding, like this is the story of your soul, pile number 1. So you cannot get, you know, restless, impatient, or lazy. And I feel like, you know, it's easy to do. I'm not trying to lecture you. I can definitely get that way too. But there's a need here to surrender, right? It's not the time to be impatient, reckless, or lazy, right? It's not the time. Surrender, yes, but don't be reckless. I feel like there could be kind of a recklessness that you've had, like maybe in the last couple of months here, and Spirit's trying to pull you away from that, okay? Because your Dharma is your purpose in this lifetime, and what you're meant to do, why you're here to serve. Like what cloak have you taken upon yourself in this lifetime, right? So it's like your Dharma is unfolding at a rapid rate, pile number 1. So I feel like it's hard for you to keep up sometimes. It's like, can you keep up, right? It's like you're going to lose your breath. I feel like I'm very energized during your reading, and your Dharma is going to be unfolding rapidly. So you do need those people around you. I just got chills, who ground you, who love you unconditionally, who really celebrate your soul, okay? Like, I feel like I'm going to cry, pile number 1. Jesus Christ, what a year for you. Okay, we have well-being. And some of you may have been ignoring like some physical things that have been going on with you, like, you know, like a tight lower back, a tooth. For some of you, you may be having some issue with carpal tunnel, or your elbow is also what I'm getting. Or something with your feet, okay? And, you know, Spirit is saying, like, don't ignore these signs. It may be digestion here too with I'm capturing a lot here with that, but like, it may be some things that you need to start looking at from a well-being perspective, and that came out under cleanse your aura. And I think one thing you should realize too, that is gonna help bring you more clarity and empowerment, is taking care of yourself physically. And some of you may have a resistance to doing that, like going and getting acupuncture, going to the chiropractor, getting yourself to the dentist regularly, like, you know, or just taking care of something that you don't want to deal with. I feel like you feel more, I promise you will feel more empowered if you do those things, okay? And Spirit is trying to push you forward there, okay? So I feel really warm during your reading as well, pile number 1. I don't know if you've been kind of overactive lately, or your thyroid is kind of overactive, but I feel very overactive kind of in your reading right now. I'm like, woo, you know, warm feeling. But this is also a very like intense topic, right? Because empowerment, at least for me anyway, like is always kind of intense. I don't know about you guys, but it doesn't have to be. Like, I just heard that from Spirit. It doesn't have to be. Thank you, Spirit. I'll calm down. Yeah, look at that. The star. They're like, it doesn't have to be. Chill out, right? So some of you may be Aquarians here. You may be teaching others how to slow down, how to drop out a little bit and chill out, okay? Slow down, drop out, chill out. There could be some kind of hippies in this pile too, or people who want to have kind of more of a hippie life, like maybe you don't right now, but you really could resonate with that if given the chance, okay? I do feel like there could be someone, like a mentor coming along who shows you kind of how to live in a better way. So Spirit is saying, stay open to that, okay, pile number one? Like, don't automatically write people off because you've had negative experiences with healers or teachers in the past, okay? They want you to kind of like keep shining your star bright here, but also like stay open to other people impacting you. Like, don't shut off, okay? Let's see, what else can pile number one do here? Nine of Cups. You need to have more fun, all right? So you need to believe in the power of the possible, and you need to have more fun, all right? Isn't the power of possible, isn't that a book or something? It's kind of cheesy in a way, but some of you guys really need to do that, especially after the year that you've had. And I think the year that you have has made you feel rather limited at times, like feeling like things are limited or resources are limited or the people that love you are limited, like just, or the people that will love you are limited, right? And Spirit is wanting you to expand now and say, cast your vision out farther with the Star card here. And with the Nine of Cups, it's like, think of what really brings your joy, right? Like what really brings joy to you, what really brings happiness, and how do you relax, right? And I feel like that's so true, right? Like I have issues with that too, pile number one. Like, how do you actually relax? Two of Pentacles, okay? So you may be in a position right now where you need to juggle two different things, all right? And you could have two jobs, you could have two things that you're trying to do, you could be moonlighting at something. You may have certain decisions that you need to make about family matters or money, or your income coming up. And I feel like it's very important that you approach that from an abundance mindset, you approach it from a healthy mindset, and that you're like in a good mind frame when you go to do it, okay? With the Star card here, it's like, don't be making decisions when you're stressed, when you're it's not going to help you, like when you do it from that space. And I feel like it's so obvious, right? But we sometimes end up like hamster wheels, just kind of like going over and over. You really have to exit that to kind of like get the clarity. Yeah. And the Ace of Swords, which of course is Archangel Michael, which I have right here. And I bet this is going to come out a lot in these empowerment and clarity readings. But it's all about, I think Spirit is talking about the process that you need to go through here. Like, first open yourself up to the possibilities, then relax and enjoy yourself a little bit and dip out of the stress vibe, then finally make the decisions, because I feel like you've got some decisions coming up in the near future, pile number one. And then you're going to be able to make the right choice and be really clever and smart about the way that you're handling this, okay? And some of that for you, it may have to do with job, with income. And I've also got living situation for some of you guys too. Some of it may have to do with a living situation. You're trying to make a decision, all right? But that's kind of the process that you need to undertake. Seven of Swords, I'll tell you what you don't need to undertake is more of this shit, right? 333 on my clock right now. So yeah, Seven of Swords, like, this is just Spirit saying, like, this is the energy that you're coming from, okay? You're coming from this place of, like, I think some of you thought you knew what was happening with the situation, and I'm seeing the letter J here. Like, you thought you knew what was happening. You thought you knew what, and J could be their middle initial too, is just also what I got here. But you thought you saw what was happening. I'm seeing JS. You thought you knew what was happening, but it really wasn't, okay? It really wasn't happening. And it was really shocking, I feel like, to some of you guys to kind of see the truth in this scenario. But Spirit is like, it was a divine detour. It happened the way it happened. And, now it's time to release your ex, right? Now it's time to let go of that. That person, I feel, I'm a little annoyed at them because I feel like they're smug, okay? I feel like this person could be rather smug sometimes, and I don't really like that energy, okay? I think it's very important to rise above that here with the Star card, okay? Like, rise above it, be in your own happiness, and make decisions from there, not from anger, right? Yeah, we have Four of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. So I do feel like sometimes you guys resist change. And I think, for some of you, you could be, The truth of the matter is that you could already have a lot in your life. Pile number 1 with the 9 of Pentacles is the hidden energy. Like you already have quite a bit going on for you. You're already quite successful. You're already quite accomplished. Or there are moments when you feel really good about yourself and your life and what you've built, right? But I think it leads to inertia sometimes for you, pile number 1. And I think sometimes you need that kick in the ass from the universe to kind of get that old donkey up and moving, right? Everyone needs a kick in the ass every now and then. That's why you have the coyote here. The coyote is very clever too and can be quick on its feet. And, you know, this is a divine detour. So some of you are going to go from feeling very stuck and very unable to kind of move through things to just having every part of your life open up. And it's going to be like, whoa, now there are too many decisions, right? It's like feast or famine. Feast or famine around here. But, you know, I kind of talked you through the process of what you need to go through to make decisions going forward, okay? Not when you're in an angry space, not when you're reacting to someone, not when you're feeling, you know, lack or fear, but when you're seeing the ultimate possibilities, you're enjoying yourself and relaxing into your being, and then you're making decisions with clarity from that vantage point, okay? So that's what I'm getting for you, pile number 1. I hope that that resonated. I hope that you found some clarity and some goodness in that reading, and it was pretty powerful. I feel like your guys' reading was powerful. So let me know in the comments how that went for you, okay, pile number 1. Now let's go ahead and move into pile number 2, and I'm gonna grab a little drink of water here because pile number 1 was kind of wild. Okay, let's get into it. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. You chose the white tea light. This is the first time I'm using a white tea light, so welcome to your reading. Welcome to the heavenly choirs singing and the angels parting the way for you in my beautiful pile number 2s. And we are looking at how to gain more empowerment and clarity in your life. We're going to look at what has been blocking you. We're going to look at where you can push forward and where you can, you know, continue to grow and empower yourself. Okay, pile number 2. And we are channeling it through the goddess Isis today, asking for her blessing as we go on our path here. Okay, so let's get into it. Spirits, angels, and guides, please clear my energy from pile number 1. Let me dial into pile number 2, please. Whew. Okay, goddess Isis here. I feel like some of you could have been sad recently, like you could be feeling a bit sad or a little bit lonely for some of you. Let's go ahead and look at it, okay? Let's see here, divine destiny. The divine warrior is within you, helping you to continue with a worthy path, even during times of difficulty. When faced with a challenge, a true warrior will summon more of him or herself to the cause. It might be bringing more wisdom, focus, or intelligence, or surrendering to the divine. The warrior within has great inner resourcefulness and determination, okay? So I feel like Spirit here is, I get the energy that Spirit is congratulating you in a way, pile number 2, and asking you to acknowledge how far you've already come in your divine destiny in pursuit of that. And you have been, you know, very warrior-like in that. You've really, in a good way, you know, I mean, accepting the challenges that have come along and pushing through. There's sirens going in the back right now. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's definitely Archangel Michael. But I feel like there may be some confusion for you, pile number 2, in knowing like when you should just bring more focus and intelligence and determination to a situation, or when you should just surrender and let it go. And I feel like sometimes you're not quite sure about when to do that, okay? But I feel like Spirit is saying, you know, congratulations, because you've already come so far. Even if you have gone through times of great challenge, I feel like some of you have had to endure situations. I just got the word cruelty. So I do feel like some of you have had to endure situations that have been downright cruel, okay? And like cruel and unusual punishment kind of is what I feel, all right? Radical expansion. Yeah. And you might have been wondering, like, why did I have to go through this? What was the point of it? Like, and I'm not here to tell you, like, that, like, I'm definitely not a trauma denier or a spiritual bypasser by any means. I'm more of a get your hands dirty and get after it kind of a girl here. But your soul has been radically expanding here, and it's been very spiralic. So I think sometimes, like, you think that you're not moving and you're wondering, well, how can I think you're conscious of this too, pile number 2. Like, how can I keep going? How can I keep moving and expanding here? And sometimes it may feel like you're moving backwards or it's stalled out, but Spirit is saying, like, look at the growth that you've had. Like, I feel like you may be kind of spiritual perfectionists in a way, pile number 2, where you don't want to make any wrong moves in this lifetime because you're really trying to make sure you reach your goals in this lifetime. And Spirit is saying, like, you guys kind of need a pause to think about and understand and really feel, not just think, but feel how far you've come. This is like radical expansion, all right? And I feel like I'm already hearing some of you like, it's still not good enough. It's still not good enough, Nat. I want more. I want to do more. And I can relate to that. I can totally relate to you, pile number 2, but Spirit is saying, like, you have to take stock, okay? You need to take stock. Here is what I'm getting. 9 of Wands. Yeah, like some of you may feel defensive about your performance as a spirit, like you're like, I'm doing everything I can here. I've given, I've done this, I've done that. I've had a lot of stamina. I've showed a lot of strength here. I mean, this is the true warrior. This 9 of Wands is the card of great strength, okay? And, we could have some Sagittariuses, some Capricorns here, some Virgos in this pile as well. But I feel like, your soul has been very expansive, but you go through periods of contraction and expansion. And I feel like it all comes back to, should I push or should I pull? Should I stop or should I go? And I feel like some of you may, and Spirit is saying, for God's sakes, just cool it for a second and enjoy your life, okay? Pile number 2, soak in the rays, soak in the sun. Some of you probably need to go lay on a beach somewhere, just go enjoy yourselves. Or some of you may need to disappear into the mountains, like to the red rocks is also what I'm feeling, could be very healing. Just getting away. I feel like you guys need to clear your head. I feel like you need to not put any expectations on yourself of, I have to get this done, I have to get that done, I need to go keep pushing and pushing. Some of you need to chill out and connect with your environment a little bit more is what I'm getting here. Queen of Pentacles, look at you guys. This is where, you guys have been holding it. You guys have been nurturing something and growing something. And I feel like sometimes it feels like it's going a little bit slow and you're like, it's not like I need it to go faster. I need things to move quicker. And some of you may be working on cutting ties with a job or becoming independent or moving up the chain. Some of you may be really focused on, I'm getting kind of like a, career job, like soul calling kind of a vibe in your pile, all right, which is very different than pile number 1. So if you don't resonate, you could always watch both. But I am feeling this, like, I feel like some of you could be locked in already in relationships here with the Queen of Pentacles. Like some of you could already be like doing a lot in relationships. You could already have, relationships established around you. I feel like you guys need to have more fun. You need to let go. Some of you may have children and maybe giving a lot there as well, like holding space for everyone is kind of what I feel. And like, I feel like some of you do a lot for other people too. And you're like, isn't that good enough? Like, and then they complain or get upset and you get upset. 9 of Wands. It's like, wasn't that good enough? Didn't that, and I feel like Spirit is like, wants to take you out of that energy, okay? Spirit wants to pull you out of that energy. Yeah, and for those of you that are single here, this is my kind of like sexy, confident. Some of you may have been working very hard in other areas of your life and you may have put relationships on the back burner while you really dedicated yourself to a business or to what you're doing, or you may have already, like I said, be with someone, but be kind of back burnering that energy. And Spirit is saying it's very important for you to feel young, free, and fun. I don't care how old you are, but you need to feel young, free, and fun. You need to feel attractive. Some of you may need to buy yourself a couple new things, like some clothes, and kind of like zhuzh your appearance up a little bit, because Spirit doesn't want you walking around raggedy, you know? And with the Queen of Pentacles, it's all about like taking care of yourself, right? And feeling confident, stepping out, being in your power, you know, not feeling like, I feel like some of you feel like if you did try to be yourself or really shine, other people would be offended by it, or they would challenge you, or they wouldn't like it. And so some of you are keeping yourselves smaller or trying to help over manage situations so that, you know, you don't really step out and shine. But Spirit is here to say, no, you are supposed to be shining right now. We have free yourself. Yeah, I feel like some of you need to free yourself from connections that have gone stale. Some of you need to free yourself from job situations where you're not being appreciated. Like some of you need to free yourself and take back control of your life and like regain your youthful spirit again, and not be so worried about perfection and doing everything right, okay? And being right all the time, or becoming obsessed with that, okay? Spirit is wanting to free yourself from that responsibility, okay? And just get really tantric. Get really fucking tantric, pile number 2. Like, go into your pleasure, all right? That's what I feel. Like, Spirit's like, you need to get pampered and you need to get motherfucking tantric, okay, pile number 2? We have enemies. Stop punishing yourself, all right? So I do feel like you could have some haters around you, and you may have felt like, what did I do here, right? And you may be treating yourself as an enemy, like overworking, right? Some of you, I feel, are overworking or doing too much, and it is making other people jealous because they can't keep pace with you. I do feel there may be some jealousy here, but I think for some of you, your biggest hoop or your biggest issue here is doing a self-punishing amount of work, or self-punishing if you don't do something completely perfect or right, okay? And Spirit says that, like, you know, to gain the radical expansion that you're seeking in this lifetime, stop obsessing, okay? We may have some Scorpios in this pile too who just won't give it up. It's like Spirit is saying, like, stop obsessing, all right? We have self-love. It's not being selfish to put your needs first. Jesus, right? Talking it right at you, pile number 2, right? Like, it isn't, like, some of you need to free yourself from the thought that if you are focusing on yourself or feeling good about yourself, or look at yourself in the mirror like, damn, I look good today, or damn, I did a good job at that, or needing a compliment or a validation, that makes you, like, you know, makes you less than, right? And it's important we learn to validate ourselves, because we're not going to always have people to validate us, right? Like, you have to validate yourself also, is what I'm getting. And if you have been, you know, kind of wanting other people to show their appreciation and they haven't, Spirit is saying pull your energy back and give it to yourself, okay? Because eventually you will have better people around you, I feel like, that can appreciate that. Pile number 2. Owl, you can see clearly now. The rain is gone. It's going to be a bright, sunshiny day. There's the sun right there. So I do feel like some of you have been putting in a lot of effort, but it hasn't been reciprocated. For some of you, I feel like it's been a job situation. Like, you put in a lot of effort, you put in a lot of time, you weren't paid fairly, you weren't recognized, they gave somebody a promotion over you, like some bullshit happened, okay? And I feel like you're like, I can see clearly now. I know what's going on here, and I'm choosing better for myself, and I know my value, all right? I get that some of you too may have recently had a child, or you may be with child thinking that your employer or people or your clients or your friends are gonna like think less of you because you have a child. It's very or that you're not gonna get, you know, you're not going to get what you, and some of you may have had that happen to you here, right? And if you do feel that and you sense that, I mean, pause and ask yourself, is it really true, right? But if it is true, I feel like it's coming out. I feel like everything's going to come out with the owl here, all right? Everything is coming out, and you are going to see clearly now. We have deep replenishment, retreat, rest, and be held. Yeah, like Spirit's like, it's time to give it up. It's time to let it go. It's time to stop doing everything. Part of the thing that disempowers you, I feel, pile number 2, is your need for control, okay? And Spirit is saying, it's time to let go of control, because your destiny is happening to you no matter what. So you just got to let go right now. Freya, phases and cycles. There's a beginning within every ending. Illusions are being revealed and released, okay? And I feel like for some of you, it's not even what anyone else could do to you. It's more like what you would do to yourself, I feel, when you're upset with yourself, pile number 2. But Spirit is saying it's time to give it a rest. You've been through a lot of cycles. You've been through a lot of cycles in your life, and you've had people come and go. And it's time to rest now, and it's time to not be worried or have anxiety about that. Yeah, willpower. I feel like some of you have really been pushing through, even though if you've been in a difficult cycle or going through hard things emotionally, it's like you still were willing things to happen. You were still pushing through, right? And Spirit is saying you don't have to push that hard anymore. Everything is going to be fine. And I feel like that's where your confusion comes in. Go back to the beginning of the reading, right? Where I was saying sometimes you don't know when to push and when to pull back in your own life with your efforts and what you're doing, right? And Spirit is saying life is cyclical with Freya here. Like, life is cyclical. Sometimes it's on, sometimes it's not. You don't have to literally will yourself through all of these situations, okay? So let's go ahead and see, how can my pile number 2s, how can they clear this up and gain more empowerment? How can my pile number 2s clear this up and gain more empowerment here? Knight of Swords, okay? So my throat chakra was like shaking as I was saying that. So there's probably some conversations that you guys need to have urgently. Like, if you've been holding things back, or if there's somebody that's been grating on you, may have somebody in your energy field that's been grating on you with their constant communications, their constant questioning of you, their constant, annoying you constantly is what I feel. And this person could be grating on your energy, all right? Coming into your space and grating on you. If you do have some energy like that in your life, pile number 2, Spirit's like, you don't even need that. And I think some of you just like, if you are in that situation, when you think about that person, you're just like, I don't even really need that, right? Like, it's such an eye roll. I just feel like some of you may work like in the health industry is what I get here too. You could have some nurses or kind of things like that in this pile, but you may work somehow in the health industry, like even mental health. Some of you may work in mental health. Some of you may have a very difficult client here with the Knight of Swords. I mean, you don't have to take every client that comes to you. That's the other thing, right? Like, some people are just very disruptive. Let's go ahead and see what else can pile number 2 here do to eliminate. We have 4 of Wands to eliminate, right? Maybe some of you are constipated. I don't know. Pile number 2 is, these readings are crazy, right? But what can you do to eliminate, disempowerment, right? And here it's like 4 of Wands, right? So have more, like, slow it down. Go for a stroll, go with a friend for a walk. Some of you may like to take pictures is what I'm getting. Some of you may have artistic hobbies that you put on the back burner because you're so busy and your energy is so, taken up by other things. And I feel like you guys really need to get into those artistic hobbies, or you may even have like side businesses or artistic hobbies, and Spirit is like, you need to kind of get back into that, because that's going to help clear up your confusion too. Like, what should I do? What way should I pick? What should I put my energy here? Should I put my energy there? I feel like Spirit is saying, just go do what you enjoy doing. Okay. So let's see, how can pile 2 gain more empowerment here? The Tower, right? So there may be some things in your life that you need to let go before they let go of you, There may be some things that you're avoiding letting go. There may be some, and it may be, some of you may have a boss or an authority figure in your life that takes way too many liberties with you and really, really screws with your energetic field is what I feel. And it's time to let go with the Tower. It's definitely time to call a spade and let it go before it lets go of you, right? So for some of you, I think you need to call on your Queen of Pentacles energy here and, you know, get kind of a plan B going is what I feel for some of you, right? And maybe some of you are actually going through a Tower moment. I mean, I feel like the Tower strikes and then we know we're in the Tower. It's not pre-Tower, right? But but some of you may be going through this right now. But if you are, Spirit is saying, like, just be a careful planner and take things one day at a time. Everything's going to be fine. There may be some layoffs where you're at too, is what I feel for some of you. We have there may have been recently. We have Six of Pentacles here. So no matter what kind of interactions you get into with people, Spirit is not wanting you to lower yourself in any way, particularly if you feel desperate. Like if something has happened recently that has made you feel desperate, Spirit is saying, you know, no, like you get off your knees. You don't need to do that. You know, you're a fucking fully realized human being. You're very wise. You're very sharp here with the owl spirit. You've come such a long way. Don't do that, okay? Some of you maybe, if you went through a period of a job loss or you lost something, even a relationship, you may think that, you know, you'll just kind of take anything to distract yourself, but Spirit is saying no, like you don't need to do that. It actually disempowers you and it confuses things. So you don't need to do that, right? And if there are situations where you feel like you're being taken advantage of and you're not being taken seriously, a way to empower yourself and bring clarity is to stomp your foot on those situations, right? It's to really just snuff them out, right? Like, you know, let them go. Don't do it anymore, right? Let's see, what else can pile number 2 do here? And I know it's not that easy, right? I know it's not that easy, and I don't want to be glib and make it seem like, oh, it's so easy to just walk away, right? Because I know it's not. All right? And so, but Spirit is also saying too, like some of the things that are not the easiest, we know that we need to do in our heart. We know it's not going to be easy, but we have to do it anyway, all right? Because it's not going to work in the long run. Yeah, I feel like some of you may have been, with the Hangman here, like you may have been just kind of waiting things out, like very uncomfortable, but like waiting things out to see what will happen, right? And, you know, and I think that it's, you know, and you may be trying to kind of gain a new perspective on your situation too. Like maybe one day you're like, well, if I just kind of hang out here and deal with this, maybe things will shift, right? You may be kind of feeling that as well, pile number 2. Let's go ahead and see what else we get here. But I don't think it is. Yeah, that's the energy. Empress energy is on the bottom of the deck. So it's very important that we had self-love come up earlier. We could have some Tauruses here because we have willpower and self-love. So there could be some Tauruses in this pile too. But I feel like Spirit is like, give it up, you know, stop breaking your back in this situation. And I honestly don't feel like it's going to really get better if there is a situation right now, pile number 2. I feel like an ending is nigh here with something. And I feel like it's going to be a welcome relief because you've just had to, it's this willpower with the 10 of Wands, you know? And I feel like you guys have a very strong willpower and Spirit wants to acknowledge that. Like, you know, you're coming through as the Empress here. You have a lot of willpower to get things done and to finish things, but it's not all on you. Like right now, Spirit just wants you to kind of frolic and do the things you love is what I'm feeling, okay? So let's, actually I was gonna say, let's go to the extended reading, but we don't have one. I feel like I could do more in your pile number 2. If for those of you that are kind of in this situation and you want more guidance, you can always request a private reading. Details are below, all right? So thank you so much, pile number 2. Let me know if that resonated for you. I feel like that got weirdly specific, okay? But let's go ahead and get into it for my pile number 3s. Okay. So let's do it. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You homies, I don't know why I just wanted to call you homies. Maybe some friends are watching this. I don't know. You homies picked pile number 3, the blue tea light, okay? So welcome to your reading, my loves, and hugs to everyone, okay? I feel like there could be someone I know watching this, so that's why I'm saying that, like, hugs, hugs, hugs. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. We have pile number 3 here, and we are looking at how can we gain more empowerment and clarity in our lives. And we're channeling this information through the goddess Isis. I have her symbol right here, and we are in service to the goddess today. It is Sunday, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it for my pile number 3s. How can pile number 3 gain more clarity? And I just heard wisdom too, more clarity, wisdom, and empowerment in their life. Let's see. We have past life, present power. As the soul grows in service to the great feminine and her intention that all beings be healed and free, it gathers the internal resources to assist on the path. These resources include powers and gifts from other lifetimes. You are currently integrating past life abilities. Be open to what is taking place as your soul awakens ancient power and abilities in you. Damn, oh my God, pile number 3. I got chills reading that. You guys have this hourglass on here. So I feel like you guys have been under the domain of Saturn. You've been in a very ancient and very important training is what I feel, okay? And you're drawing on experiences from past lives. And I do feel like some of you may be experiencing that as karma. Like, and there may have been things that happen where you're like, this same thing keeps happening over and over, or, you know, this again, or this thing, you know, rears its ugly head again, you know, kind of this kind of returning energy. I feel like some of you have been in pile number 3, but, you know, I think Spirit here is trying to empower you and draw your attention to the good, okay? They're trying to say that, like, yes, you've had some repetitive people, like, from your past lives or even from your current life, like kind of cycling and recycling back into your life, and it hasn't been great. But guess what? Like, not only you received great training, gifts, and healing powers in your past lives, and those gifts are also being brought to the surface too, okay, right now. There is something that's happening in tandem for you, pile number 3. It's like, you know, like this, the sands of the hourglass. These are the days of our lives, right? Like, and I feel like some of you may be hitting a particular age, like a anniversary age, you know, from a past life, like, and you may be feeling this strongly because you may be feeling like an activation is happening right now. You know, like some of you may be hitting 35 or 40 or 30 or right 29, hitting your Saturn return. Like something is hitting for you right now. And, you know, some of you may be having something going on with your nodes. For those of you that follow astrology, like a nodal return or opposition. You may be, or you might have just had one, right? I feel like, you know, it's the dragon head and the dragon tail, Rahu and Ketu. I feel like some of you may be doing that, right? And as you're bringing out these gifts from past lives, I feel like you're also experiencing the return of some old karma, okay? And Spirit is saying, don't get caught up in that. Pay attention to, you know, I mean, pay attention to it all, but don't get overly focused on the negative is what I feel, okay? Communication equals co-creation, okay? 21, some of you could be turning 21 too. I mean, that's quite the age too. I remember when I turned 21, like, you know, it is an interesting age, right? But we have communication and co-creation. So yeah, and these other souls here with you, pile number 3, are actually beings that have been with you for a long time. I feel like some of you may have recently met, or I feel like in 2021, and I feel like you guys need to pray to your guides for this, okay, pile number 3? You may have had some unsavory people in your life, but, you know, like with this cycle and this karma, but some of you need to pray to your guides for 2021 that they are going to put really powerful, engaging, life-changing, healthy connections on your path in 2021, okay? And I feel like the time is now. Communication, co-creation, blue tea light. So there's this need to open up your throat chakra, this need to share your message and to share it with like-minded people and to learn from them as well, and possibly partner up here for some of you too. Maybe in a business venture, maybe in a relationship or friendship, whatever it is going to be for you. And it could be all three for some of you. Now, I feel like because we have the three beings here. I feel like you're going to meet some people in 2021 that carry a lost part of your soul, honestly, is what I feel, pile number 3. And, I can feel some of you are like, well, I don't, I want to have all the empowerment in me. And I agree. I would agree with you, pile number 3. And some of you may not like depending on others all the time, okay? And I feel like 2021 is going to be very educational for you in that way. And you're also upping your own abilities here too, right? Everything here says that you are integrating past life abilities here. Okay, pile number 3. So some of you may be learning a new skill as well. That's going to be very empowering for you in your life. Let's check it out. Yeah, we have 9 of Swords. So I do feel like some of you have been highly in your mind. You've been worried. You're like, did I do something wrong in a past life to deserve some of this kind of wacky energy that's been in and out of my life lately? Like some of you may have been, and some of you may be around people that made you feel small or less than, is what I feel. And that's very disempowering, right? And there is something here for you, pile number 3, around clearing wounds around groups, okay? Like being in groups of people and feeling disempowered. Like you can't talk or you can't share your opinion, right? And I feel like there are some wounds there for you, pile number 3, to work through. We have 8 of Pentacles, but it's reversed. So Spirit is saying, like, if you have been overdoing it when it comes to something, then, you definitely let it go. But I also feel like some of you, expected to kind of enter into what you're doing and be a master maybe like immediately, especially for my younger ones. And I'm learn every day. I don't care about age really, but I feel like some of you may be taking on a new skill, doesn't matter the age, and you may be frustrated with yourself thinking, why am I not good at this yet? Like I tried and it's not coming to me and I'm not getting there on my own, right? And I feel like there's going to be others that you work with in 2021 that are going to open you up to this skill and to this energy. I feel it's very much co-creation here, pile number 3. Okay, and we have Knight of Pentacles. So I do feel like there's going to be some slower moving energy, like that's going to be very stable, consistent, and enduring. This could be a person that's coming into your life, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I don't think this person is in any rush. I don't think that they're going to, really get into your space in a way that's very dominating. And some of you may have dealt with that in the past, like group energy or being around people like that. I feel like this is Spirit saying, these people are going to, new people in your life are going to kind of observe, help you, and be consistent in your life, but they're not going to go overboard is kind of what I'm feeling here. And I also feel like Spirit is saying, with these new skills that you're learning, slow and steady wins the race, right? Like we don't become class A tarot readers overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. And we don't become amazing astrologers or amazing whatever, electricians, in 5 seconds, right? Like it definitely takes time and persistent effort. And some of you may have felt put down because or ashamed about something too. I feel here with the 9 of Swords, and Spirit is saying you don't have to worry about that. Don't feel bad about that. You are gaining. Your momentum is gaining. Your energy is gaining here, pile 3. Yeah, codependency. That may be the group energy that you are having to deal with here. Is when you get in around other people, you may feel a desire to meet their needs or cater to them instead of getting what you need to get out of the experience, pile number 3. And Spirit is saying, this is what you need to work through, all right? And this can be very disempowering. And I can see why you feel like you want to avoid groups of people at times. I get it, right? Or relationships, like you get into relationships and, you know, and people start sucking the energy out of you, or they just turn out to be more trouble than they're worth, right? And a lot of worry, right? And I feel like Spirit is saying you just need to take your time with things and give it enough time to grow and mature, because if you rush into anything, I feel like for the next year, pile number 3, it's like, don't rush into anything. Let people kind of show you where they're at. Yeah, a lot of times this resulted in unrequited love in the past, and you may feel like, why did I deserve this? Like, why is this happening, right? And I feel like there's going to be people blending in your energy next year, pile number 3, and they're going to want to be there. You're not going to have to force anyone or chase anyone to be in your energy field. People are going to request to be in your energy field. And I do feel like, you know, it's also up to you. Like, you need to also be responsible for what you're giving here with this codependency card and unrequited love. Like, you need to pull back sometimes. I also feel like Spirit is saying, you know, don't put so much into it, pull it back so that you can really work on these gifts, okay? We have work on the third eye chakra. So some of you in this pile are psychics, or some of you are have spiritual businesses, or are mediators or counselors, or there's some type of emotional aspect that you do in your work, social workers, something that causes you to have to connect with people, all right? And I feel like, you know, a lot of you may be scared that you're not going to do it right, or you won't do a good job, or you'll fail, right? And Spirit is trying to say these are unfounded fears. You just need the right support and learning environment if that's what you're trying to do. We have blocks here with the 8 of Pentacles. I feel like, you know, it says work on your chakras. Some of you might be afraid to start things sometimes, like you're going to fail right away, or it's not going to work out. And Spirit is saying this is kind of a block that you have, and it's something that you can work through with persistent effort. And do not, also, if you guys procrastinate, Spirit is saying, please stop that, because all it does is give you anxiety, okay? If you're doing that with school or anything. Yeah, we have snake, time to heal. This has been coming out a lot in the last couple days when I've been doing readings. So, you know, there may have been people that betrayed you. They may have been people that have been two-faced, that have hurt you, you know? And that energy is clearing. You have gone through those disappointments. You have dealt with feeling unloved here and kind of doing what you can to get your needs met. But these things are going to shift, and I think people are going to be showing you a lot more consistent effort. Pile number 3. We have Minnie Tonkin, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers, okay? Oh, I just got chills. Pile number 3, you're a part of the original light workers. Don't you ever doubt it for a second, my loves. And you know, sometimes it can be kind of lonely. You may feel cast out, like you don't belong, like nobody's gonna understand you, you know, and that you'll just kind of be alone forever. Some of you may feel that, like you may have people in your life, but just not feel seen for some of you. And Spirit is saying, you know, we wanna bring all the resources that you need to us. And I think it is important you do that prayer for 2021, pile number 3, that Spirit brings you the best and highest in 2021, okay? We have hope, love, and acceptance. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth. Choosing loving thoughts. Yeah, so some of you, it's like your own mind. It's your own thoughts and thinking that you're cursed or that things negative keep happening to you. You know, like Spirit is asking you to clear that, clear your mental energy, heal your mental body. We have truth. Well, we are trying to get to the truth, right? Aren't we? I'm seeing the letters O and E here. Could be first name, last name, but I'm seeing O and E. I'm seeing an A here and an M, okay? An A and an M as well. And I'm also seeing an H, okay? I'm seeing Om here too. So Om, chanting, right? So some of you may be needing to get deeper into your spiritual practices. I'm seeing the number 32 here as well. But some of you maybe need to get into your spiritual practices, go deeper with that, okay? And not for anybody else. Not because you're trying to show off for anybody, like that you know things or whatever. Not for anybody else, but for yourself, okay? Not so you're the biggest, baddest bitch or bastard around town, right? But because you're doing it for yourself. And Spirit is saying, you know, and I think you know that. I feel like this is a very evolved pile, so I feel like you guys know that, right? let's go ahead and see what can pile number three do here to be in their empowerment. What can pile number three do here to be in their empowerment? We have Page of Pentacles. It's all about the company you keep and the friends that you have. I love this, and finding those missing pieces of yourself within yourself and also in your associations, right? And I think that is really that's really the glow up for 2021. You know, I don't think I talked about 2021 in any of the piles as much as I have in your pile number three, but I feel 2021 is going to be special for you. And I do feel like the glow up is not just for you, it's for others, for the people that are with you and around you as well. And I see you bringing in a missing piece here for someone as well. All right. And I feel like someone who is a friend originally may actually turn into a lover. And you guys may have similar spiritual beliefs here too, is what I feel. Like something that starts off small grows into something bigger is what I feel here. Yeah, Four of Pentacles. Some of you are still very protective of, you know, your investment and your heart and, you know, your survival is kind of what I feel, okay? And Spirit is saying, like, it's okay to protect yourself. Don't feel bad about protecting yourself. Don't feel bad about pulling back your energy and kind of, you know, guarding what is, you know, what's good for you. But there's a balance here, pile number three, between opening yourself up to new people that can actually assist your path versus kind of hanging back, okay? So I want to get that across to you. We have Two of Swords here. So Spirit is like, stop fighting it. Stop trying, like they want you. I feel like Spirit is trying to give you messages lately. And I feel like some of you have been kind of 3D focused with the Four of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles here lately. And Spirit is like, stop trying to ignore us. We're trying to come through on the hotline here. Birds could be a big thing here too. I love birds. Whenever I see them, especially like a blackbird, I'm always like, oh my God, like I love a blackbird. But I feel like your guides and your angels, your spirits are like, literally like, stop ignoring us. We're trying to get through to you here. We're calling through on the channel. Yeah. So Two of Wands, and some of you guys in your heart, you may be feeling led to go somewhere else, okay? You may be thinking wistfully about like, you know, if I was here, like things would be different. Or if I could go, I would be happier, right? And Spirit is saying, like, get comfortable where you are now, because you need to dial into your energetic flow right now. It doesn't mean you're not going to go somewhere, pile number three, or move somewhere or be able to take more adventures on here. It's just that you need to get comfortable where you're at right now is what I feel. Okay, we have Six of Pentacles. So I mean, there's a lot of energy exchange happening, I feel, with you and others. And I think it's important to know, like, you know, what's happening in your connections with people, okay? And are people feeding the connection with you? Is it equal? Is there a fair energetic exchange? Do you feel good about the connection, or does it always kind of leave you with a feeling of emptiness or wanting more, okay? Is what I'm getting here. So Spirit's asking you to take a look at some of the things around you right now. Let's go ahead and see what else can pile number three do here to create empowerment. Three of Pentacles. Well, isn't that about a bitch? Pile number three. Three of Pentacles, pile number three. Then we have the three here, communicating and co-creation, right? And then we have the Three of Pentacles. So you are really meant to collaborate with some people. You are really meant to work on, and it's supposed to be a good experience with everybody contributing, okay? And I feel like that's something you need to hear, pile number three. We have the Magician on the bottom of the deck. So I think some of you have been, you know, like doing your work solo, or you've been like on a solo path with what you've been doing. And in 2021 coming up, the collaborative energy is where it's at for you, and healing any wounds around group work or how that would go for you, okay? Because I do feel that energy is coming in 2021 for you. So Spirit is asking you to prepare for that, because it is going to be a next level empowerment for you, all right? So thank you so much, pile number three. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Leave me a comment below. If the reading resonated, let me know. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.